Going on, everyone? We are back with a brand new video, and came across this tweet actually over 2 weeks ago. I just have not had time to get around to properly addressing this foolishness. But anyway, it comes to us from Ballislife. This tweet you see on the screen, so I'll go ahead and read it briefly. 14 years ago, again, this is from May the 13th. The Celtics upset the 61-win Cavs team by eliminating them in 6 games despite 27 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists from MVP LeBron James. LeBron signed with Miami 2 months later, and the Cavs won an Eastern Conference worth 19 games the following year. And see, what this does is it plays into this false narrative that the reason why the Cavs stunk was solely because LeBron James left. And see, this is one of the flawed pillars that the sycophants use in their arguments, because they'll say, well, see, when Michael Jordan retired, or they try to say retired, after the 93 season, the Bulls just won 55 games and he almost went to the finals. But see, you take LeBron off the Cavaliers, and see, look at that. They just went down tonight. They went from 60 wins to 19 wins. See, that's why LeBron does it. Not taking into account several things. Because here's the thing. These people love to throw out superficial stats and statements that they think will bolster their argument because it sounds really good. But once you really do a dive into it, these things are quite easy to debunk. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the 2009-2010 Cleveland Cavalier roster. Obviously, LeBron James, Mo Williams, Anton Jameson. They had Shaq, Anderson Varejao, Anthony Parker, Delonte West, J.J. Hickson. Still had Big Z. List goes on and on. Boobie Gibson, and all this. So obviously, LeBron was the leading scorer. He averaged close to 30, 29.7. And then you had with Mo Williams and Anton Jameson, who came over from the Warriors via a trade, where he was scoring about 20. This production naturally, for a variety of reasons, dipped to about 16 points a game. And then you had Shaq I won't say even, but at 30, the age of 37, man, I couldn't get it out, averaging basically 12 and 7. So, like I said, this was not the bunch of basketball vagabonds that the sycophants try to make it out to be. So, what I want to do right now is let's take a look at the roster the following year. So, here is the Cavaliers 2010-11 roster, or like call it the post-decision roster. You see, you got Anton Jameson, Varejao, Mo Williams, Anthony Parker, J.J. Hickson, Daniel Gibson, Ramon Sessions, Baron Davis, Alonzo G, Kristen Iyengar, Jamario Moon, Luke Herringody, Samardo Samuels, Manny Harris, Ryan Hollins, which is like having no one, Sime Erden, Joey Graham, and Jawad Williams. Right. So when you look at this roster, obviously, especially from name brand recognition in players, there was obviously a somewhat of a downward turn in talent in a lot of ways. But here's the thing: when you look at from a scoring standpoint, it's easy to say, well, they had 6 guys who scored between basically 12 and 18 points per game that season. But the whole thing that is like to thrown out here that this team was awful solely because LeBron James was no longer on it. And certainly, I don't care what team it is, by and large, if you remove the team's best player, which he was, it's not really up for debate. The team is going to have a deleterious effect on the team. No doubt about it. That part is not debatable. What is that the reason that is the only reason that this team went into the tank. So here's what I want to show you because this doesn't get talked about a whole lot. And that's this. Whether no matter the team, anytime your top players or the players that the team is more relying on more uh, to produce more, if those guys miss a significant portion of the season, then of course that's going to have an adverse effect on team success. It's a very simple concept. And when we look at the 2010-2011 Cavs and we look at the quote unquote their top guys, all of them missed fairly significant chunks of the season. And this doesn't get talked about because the whole thing is simply, well, LeBron wasn't there. Excuse me. They took him off the team, and that's the only reason that the team stinks. And that's simply not the case. Not even getting into the fact that the team had 9 different players, that the team fired a coach of the year, he had to bring in a new coach, and all of these things played a role in it. But when it comes to the sycophants, if you will, the people who incessantly, unabashedly carry the water for LeBron James, truth and facts be damned. They're going to push their narrative, whether it is the truth or not. And unfortunately, some of these people have large platforms to where they're able to disseminate this madness to the everyday sports fan. And unfortunately, all too many times they take it and run with it. And you get some of these things to where incorrect things like this, these falsehoods, fabrications, are now a part of the sports lexicon, and we have to push back against it, unfortunately. Instead, we have to waste our time trying to protect history rather than just talk about sports because they just want to simply push an agenda. And you would think that a platform that I actually like for the most part in Ballislife would be better than this, because this is lazy for them to put out this tweet that is so easily debunkable. And to be honest, I'm just going to say this as I move toward the end of this video, because if you have a platform this large, and this is not just true of Ballislife, be it ESPN or FS1 or whatever the case may be, and I know there's going to people say, well, certain stories sell and all this. The only story you need to be worried about is the truth and telling the facts as they are. If you have to twist and cherry pick things, then as far as I'm concerned, at that point, you're not so much a journalistic organization, but you're a propaganda or a PR machine. And there's enough of those around here to where we don't need any more. And for them, for all of them, for you to put out these lies like that, it's borderline on dereliction of duty. Because if that's what you are, if you're going to just be a LeBron James shield page and this is the Ballislife, just be that. Don't try to sell yourself as, you're all about basketball, because if you're going to be a basketball page, if that's what you're going to do, then do so without the agenda. Highlight great players without the agenda. And that's all you've got to do. But man, when I saw this tweet, I was like, I can't believe this, that they really sat here and said this. And I don't know if they have people who check this stuff, that just went through layers before somebody ever hit send, but that's terrible. But with that being said, I don't want to ramble on about this anymore, but what do you all think about this? This particular tweet that Ballislife put out a couple weeks ago. Like I said, man, I really apologize for taking so long to get to it. I'm really trying to get better. Step one is actually putting out more than one video a quarter. So we've accomplished that. But what do you think about this particular tweet from Ballislife? Let us know in the comment section and let's have a conversation about it. And as always, thank you for spending a few moments with us. And as we like to end every video off, tell the ones that you love them. Peace.